I don't mean to give a little mini civics lesson here, but can you just explain a little bit about exactly what the Attorney General does, just so everyone's clear?
Sure. It's a big job. It's a big office. If it were a law firm, it would be the largest law firm in the state with 210 lawyers. There's about 100 support staff. There's a core function, which I describe as the showing up function, which is that you're there to represent, be the lawyers for the state. And that means all contracts. It means when the state gets sued or needs to sue somebody, lawyers from the Attorney General's office work with the different agencies, the executive branch agencies, whether it's environmental protection, banking, wage and labor, to represent the state. It disposes of about 54,000 cases a year. About 97% of those cases are what we call non-discretionary. These are cases where the Attorney General's presence is as a practical matter or legal matter required. Of that 54,000, for example, 25,000 are child support cases where this state is going after what's usually a deadbeat dad to make the child support payments. Another 14,000, that's about 25,000 cases. About 14,000 cases are child advocacy cases where some kid has fallen through the cracks or is subject to abuse, and so the Attorney General's office represents Department of Children and Families to protect that kid. Then you have about 9,000 cases that are essentially debt collection enforcement, where some business or individual has not paid taxes that they owe, and so legal action is required, or a business has been fined for environmental violations or of some kind, and so legal enforcement is required to do that. So that takes you up to 48,000 out of the 54. Then you have more than 1,000 workers' compensation cases where somebody gets, a state employee gets injured. You have cases where the state gets sued. For example, a construction company, the state says you didn't perform the work that your contract said, and so we're only going to pay you 85 cents on the dollar. And the construction company says, no, we did perform the work, and we're going to sue you for the extra $1 million. The state, the AG's Office of Defense in that case. Prison guard handles a prisoner roughly. Was it justified because the prisoner was acting out, or was it excessive force? Prison guard gets sued, state defense. So that takes you, now we're looking at well over 50,000 of the cases. The 3% that we would call discretionary are cases where the state chooses to, say, go after a polluter in court, that it requires legal action. It may be a scam artist, somebody who says he's going to repave some little lady's driveway and takes a $2,000 deposit and walks away. That kind of scam enforcement. Businesses that engage in anti-competitive behavior like price fixing. It's a judgment call as to whether it's just normal competitive behavior or anti-competitive behavior and violation of antitrust laws. So the Attorney General makes the decision: is it a violation of law or is it not? And if so, are we going to sue? So that's it's in the latter area that the Attorney General has the opportunity to leave their mark, in the sense that you can be a sensible advocate on behalf of consumers in terms of protecting civil rights for people, going after businesses that cheat, going after polluters, and so that's kind of the most interesting part of the job, and that's the part of the job that has the highest profile. But in terms of the office itself, 97% of the time you're just showing up to do what's needed to be done.